It's really no surprise what happened to The Simpsons, and there probably isn't any better way to tell that than the Treehouse of Horror episodes. At their best, they can be fun, clever, and often exhilarating. At worst, they can be boring slogs that think they can replace spookiness or uncomfortableness and still be entertaining. So hi, my name is Animation Review, and today I'm going to be going through every Treehouse of Horror episode. Number 29, Treehouse of Horror 20. The first segment is such an exaggerated story, not in the fun way. The inciting incident is when Bart kills Miss Hoover without any second thought. I know Treehouse Horrors aren't canon, but I don't find watching a sociopath forcing another person to kill someone entertaining. 32 out of 100. The second segment starts with Homer actively killing his father and using his son's head to dial a keypad, and just in general being annoyingly dumb. A poo is the last saving grace of this segment, and this episode is just overall terrible. 34 out of 100, and the third segment is really mean-spirited. It starts off with Moe telling Marge that Homer ran out of the room saying he doesn't love her anymore, and then spending the rest of the episode continuing to fake Homer's contempt for her. The songs aren't even that great. There's a stereotypical musical beat that we've heard a million times before, sung by the two least appealing singing voices. Number 28, Treehouse of Horror 22. The segment is a story about Homer communicating to his family through farts. Really? The show may have had some mean-spirited episodes, some boring episodes, and some downright lazy episodes, but I wouldn't think it would ever resort to fart jokes. Guess I thought too much of it. 30 out of 100. The second segment is of Homer tricking Ned Flanders into killing his enemies, and ends on the most unsatisfying way possible. 28 out of 100. And the third segment is a parody of Avatar, and the aliens jokes aren't funny whatsoever. It's just boring. Number 27, Treehouse of Horror 17. The first segment starts with a 30-second bit about Homer eating space goo. Charming. And the episode keeps going on with this joke of Homer eating everything and becoming increasingly fat. And whatever you pictured, that's it. Nothing creative, entertaining, or funny to be found. Dr. Phil cameo was alright, but that's about it. 30 out of 100. The second segment is the normal inanimate object comes to life story that even this series has done before. Looks like they're running out of ideas. It's okay, and just a 51 out of 100. The third segment is a Cool War of the Worlds parody. The joke's nothing new, but it's alright. 61 out of 100. Number 26, Treehouse of Horror 21. The first segment is a plot about Bart and Milhouse bringing board games to reality. It would seem to be an interesting story, but it does nothing with it. They get chased by Operation Guy, Milhouse kills himself, Bart wins Mousetrap, the end. 51 out of 100. The second segment is a segment that starts off boring and ends off so mean-spirited that Family Guy's thinking it's a bit much. 48 out of 100. The third segment is a parody of Twilight, although it could be more satirical. Without the satire, it's just really boring. Number 25. Treehouse of Horror 24. The first segment is a parody of Dr. Seuss, particularly The Cat in the Hat. It's pretty creative, but it reminds me far too much of an other Cat in the Hat adaptation, particularly with the cat. So I wasn't too fond of this episode. 50 out of 100. The second segment is about Bart trying to kill Lisa. Again, because Bart realised he could gain control over Lisa when their heads are sewn together. Yeah, no thanks. 51 out of 100. The third segment is about Homer killing Moe. Is supposed to be something funny about this. It's boring at best. Number 24, Treehouse of Horror 29. The first segment is a not so subtle commentary on phone usage. Not much else can be said about it. The second segment is a story of Lisa becoming a maniac because she got one bad test result. Is this really the path we're choosing for Lisa's character? 41 out of 100. And the third segment is a parody of Jurassic Park, but with old people. This was fun, creative plot. 68 out of 100. Number 23, Treehouse of Horror 23. The first segment is hardly worth mention. Isn't the point of a plot to have a satisfying conclusion? Not just end on aliens worshipping the Zune? 51 out of 100. The second segment is, I don't know. But it ends with Homer having a three-way with two demons. That was a real sentence, yes. 52 out of 100. Third segment is a unique parody of Back to the Future. It's cool, but the ending is pretty rushed. Although that's what you get when you only have 7 minutes to tell a story. 60 out of 100. Number 22, Treehouse of Horror 13. The first segment's a pretty normal clone episode. The crowd of Homers were pretty funny, but the segment overall wasn't the best. 68 out of 100. The second tale is a fun tale about gun violence, although the segment didn't do much with the concept. They just got to the people being tormented and then realised they didn't know how it was going to be stopped, so they pulled out a time machine at the last minute. Overall, it's just a 58 out of 100. The third segment is really boring. This segment has no redeeming qualities. Boring story, boring characters, boring jokes, nothing. I really couldn't care less about this. 44 out of 100. Number 21, Treehouse of Horror 28. The opening to this was nothing special, but had some pretty good CGI. It's odd that the last time there was CGI on one of these specials was 22 years before. The first segment is a story of Maggie becoming possessed by a satanic statue. It's alright, sometimes the jokes don't land, but the episode doesn't make too many. 62 out of 100. The second segment, what is it with this episode and CG openings? It's a Coraline parody, and there isn't much in terms of comedy, but the animation is a great mix between funny and creepy. 68 out of 100. The third segment is the story of Homer becoming a cannibal. It's about as entertaining as it sounds. 45 out of 100. Number 20, Treehouse of Horror 12. The first segment is pretty forgettable. The inciting incident isn't even Homer being unlikable, it's just him falling on a candle. None of the jokes really work, the story is really boring, and overall, this was just an unnoticeable segment. 48 out of 100. Second segment is a standard defeat the AI story, with the twist that the AI likes Marge and kills Homer for that reason. The third segment is nothing special. It's a Wizard School episode with nothing of real substance in the joke section, or the plot section, or the scariest. Okay, I think you can sense a theme with this episode. And that's going to be it for part 1. So I couldn't do them all. I started working this video about 4 days from the deadline. I couldn't do them all. But either way, my name is Animation Review. That was part 1 of ranking all the Treehouse of Horror episodes. I hope you enjoyed, and I bid you good night.